How do I tell you I'm still paranoid you'll leave? How do I tell you that I worry when you say nothing's wrong? I'm writing paragraphs to find the words to say. Don't wanna upset you, but I need to get this weight off my chest. I'll keep your flowers while I'm still waiting, playing broken guitars in my room. Maybe I don't think you ever had to leave.
So today is probably going to be my favorite video thus far, just because I finally got my custom pantry that I've been wanting for the longest time. This morning I went ahead and moved out all the food as well as the old shelving. That way I can show you how I'm going to organize my pantry. I will try to leave most of the products that I use linked down in the description box, and I will also timestamp the recipes for those of you who just want to watch those parts. I hope you enjoy.
I'll still be standing here for God knows how many days. Even if you ran away, would you be my runaway? 'Cause I'll still be standing here for God knows how many days. Maybe I don't think you ever have to leave.